Hey guys, welcome to Get United, welcome to another video. And right now it's time to come back with episode 2 of the Out of Champions League Best 11. And now we're in Spain, we're gonna travel, we're gonna hit the sea, gonna travel to the British Isles, heading to the Premier League. We're gonna see the best players that are not playing Champions League football this season, and then see if we can make a competitive team and how far could it go in an UEFA Champions League competition. The teams that we're not going to be able to pick players from, it's going to be Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur, Liverpool, and Chelsea. All the other 16 teams are fair game, and we're going to play with the same stipulations of only one player per team in the 11 to make it a bit more interesting. I think that with the team that I've chosen here, with the players, I have to say, this team actually looks ridiculous. It looks world class, and honestly, if we were to see this team in real life, I think it would be pretty great. But without further ado, let's start with this. And before we start with the 11, guys, let me know in the poll what team would you like me to do for FIFA career mode. It will probably be Barcelona. If I start the career mode with Barcelona, I'm gonna try to finish it. But if you guys would like me to do any other career mode, leave me suggestions and I'll take them into consideration when starting the career mode. But without further ado, let's start with the team. Now let's start with the goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. He's been absolutely fantastic this season for Sheffield United. Sheffield United overall has been immense, and Dean Henderson has been saving like crazy. He's been so good this season. He's tall, and actually, to be perfectly honest, I don't think he's better than David De Gea, but I think for the future, I think that if you can get good money out of De Gea, like if you can get 50 million, 40, 50 million for De Gea, I think Dean Henderson has proven that he's already a good quality Premier League goalkeeper, and I think in the Champions League he will be perfectly fine. He's British, he would be, he could be an emblem for Manchester United. But again, I think that what he's been doing at Sheffield, I hope that Sheffield are able to sign Henderson. It doesn't look likely, but again, the guy has been immense. He should probably be England's #1 from now on. We'll see that competition will be picked for when the Euros are eventually played, if they're played. And then let's go into the defense. At right back, we're gonna go with Ricardo Pereira from Leicester. And we had options here, but I decided to use the Leicester bullet very early on with Ricardo Pereira, because the difference between the right back that I could have picked, it was very floppy, and I think Ricardo Pereira, more than only a right back, he's someone that can give you depth, that can give you a lot going forward. As well defensively, he just everything. He can do the defensive work, he can do the attacking role. He's just one of the best right backs, not only in the Premier League, but of the world. He's been rumored for Bayern Munich, for Barcelona, for the likes of Chelsea. I think there also were rumors, Manchester United. Like, there was a lot of teams that could use a player like Ricardo Pereira, and I think that he could be a really special player to play in the Champions League next season. Fabian Schär is going to be the first centre back that we're going to talk about, and I think Schär is a very interesting centre back because he might be a little bit obscure if you guys remember him from his times in Deportivo La Coruña. And I think Schär has always been very underrated. Like, he is a fantastic centre back. Like, he's quality. Like, I don't know if maybe like he's properly like elite level player. Like, I don't know if he's like a player that can play in a Barca or in a Madrid, at least as a starter. I think that actually as a backup for Barcelona, he could be very cheap and very good, considering that he hasn't been playing lately for Newcastle United. But at Newcastle with Rafa Benitez, he was doing it spectacularly. He's a quality center back, only 28, so could still have like 5 years of elite level. And if any team in the Europa League or in the Champions League needs center backs, I think Fabian Schär actually could be a very, very good option for very cheap, to be honest. His partner is going to be the left-footed center back from West Ham, Issa Diop, that hasn't been featuring as well this season. But again, the same thing as with when you have a team that is playing badly, it's easier to highlight the bad things out about most players. Diop, I think, has massive potential. We saw last season when the team was working fine, Diop was spectacular. He was rumored to a move to Manchester United for 60 mil. It didn't end up happening, but he has potential to do that. He has the potential to be very special at the passing. He's really good. He can play out of the back. He's really strong. He's very physical. He's actually a lot like Todibo, like the likes of Upamecano, Konate, those kind of center backs that we are seeing coming out of France that are just very physical, good ball playing. They're very tall. They're very athletic. Make for the most part good decisions at the moment of intercepting, tackling, positioning. Overall, is very good. And then on left back, we're going to play also one of the best left backs in the Premier League, which is Lucas Digne. Lucas Digne has been really good since leaving Barcelona. I always knew that Lucas Digne was a good player. It's just that I think that he never had the continuity to succeed at Barcelona. And at Everton, we're seeing that he has really good free kicks. His deliveries are world class. He has a really good work ethic. The engine on this guy is fantastic. And overall, I think that this is a world-class defense. I think that the fullbacks are going to give you a lot of depth. Digne with the crossing is especially really good. And they can give you a lot because in the construction, these fullbacks will be able to also play out of the back and give you outlets for when you're like locked down the middle. We're going to be playing with a 4-2-3-1. Meaning that we're going to play with a double pivot, starting with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg representing the Saints, Southampton, and Højbjerg, captain of Southampton at the moment. It's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League because this guy should probably be playing. Actually, if you tell me Manchester United could do with Højbjerg, I think actually that would be very good for them, partnering Fred. And then allowing the likes of Bruno Fernandes to do his thing, that could actually be pretty fun. Arsenal could do with Højbjerg, Manchester City could do with Højbjerg. Like, there's a lot of teams that this guy could feature in, and he's honestly has everything. Has played for Bayern Munich, has, you know, the quality to be a very good player playing at the back. His level of intensity, he's a box-to-box midfielder, can play as a DM, can play a little bit higher up the pitch. Overall, he's a really good player. Then we have Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, I don't like his attitude sometimes, and I know that he's probably kind of faking his injury to a point at Manchester United, but his quality is undoubted. If you can have the best Paul Pogba protected by Højbjerg, and then you have that defense behind him, I think that he would be able to have a lot of creativity, a lot of good decision making, and this team honestly would be one of the better teams. I wouldn't give him the captain's armband, but he would be probably the best player in this team. Then we're going to start at the right wing position with Adama Traoré, the new sensation from Wolves. He's been the standout player this season for the Wolverhampton Wanderers club. And his pace, the amount of pace on this guy, his dribbling ability, I believe that he's dribbles something like, he completes like 7 dribbles a game or 6, something like that, ridiculous. He's added the most important thing to his game, because before Adama Traoré he was kind of a meme because he was kind of a headless chicken, and he really was. But this season he's added the most important thing, which is end product. He could dribble any player in the world. He's just that at the time of releasing the ball, whether taking a shot, passing it back, passing it forward, taking a cross, he didn't seem to have good decision making, and he's really improved this season. The confidence that he's playing with, it's remarkable, and this is the Adama Traoré, the potential of Adama Traoré that I saw when he was at Barcelona, and that I'm really glad that the guy has exploded and become one of the new sensations of this Premier League season. In the number 10 position, it could be none other than Jack Grealish, captain of Aston Villa, a villain through and through. He is, I feel kind of bad for Grealish because he is a remarkable player that will probably not be important for the England national team just because of the amount of competition that there is for that position. Dele Alli, James Maddison, like there's a lot of competition for it, and him playing at Aston Villa, it could be a detriment, but Jack Grealish has again quality to be special. He creatively wise, I would say that Jack Grealish reminds me a lot like of a false nine Messi without the goals. And yes, he cannot dribble as well as Messi, but like, you know, he drops deep, he can go to the wing, he has a decent shot on him, but more importantly, he's really smart to take the right decision and to, you know, command the team, just take it forward. And I think that a partnership between him and Pogba in the same team would be very beneficial for this 11 that we're trying to compete in the Champions League. And then we're gonna have Wilfried Zaha. Zaha, best player of Crystal Palace. He's not been featuring as well this season, but that's more because I think he wants to leave Crystal Palace. Although if he wanted to leave, he probably should have renewed a couple seasons ago. So Zaha, again, really good player. Has been overall, he's like the same sort of Adama Traoré. He's a really good physical specimen. Not as strong, but really fast still. He was always very good, able to dribble, but his end product wasn't the best. But a couple seasons ago, he turned it around, and he's probably been one of the candidates for being the best player out of the top 6 for a long time. And then we're going to talk the number 9, the striker. The best striker probably in the Premier League over the past 18 months. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. A really good player when he was at Borussia Dortmund. A really great player when he's at Arsenal. He's at the latter stage of his career, but he's still blistering fast. His instinct is second to none. He's just a problem for center backs overall. Like, he can create problems. He is a player that has everything going for him. Only 1 year remaining on his contract, so you could probably get him out for like about 50 to 40 million euros, if I'm to be perfectly honest. He is a bargain pickup, and he will probably be the leader of this team. He will lead this team with a lot of goals, has a bunch of creativity around him to deliver him really good delivery, really good service. Zaha, Grealish, Adama, Paul Pogba, Lucas Digne, Ricardo Pereira. There's just a lot of this team that suits a player like Aubameyang. It's gonna potent him, and honestly, if this team was in the Premier League, it would probably finish in the top 4. And if this team was in the Champions League, I could see it maybe reaching a quarter-final stage. I think that this is a team that has pretty much everything. It could deal with a more solid defensive midfielder if Højbjerg was like, you know, a superb defensive midfielder. We could have also put maybe someone like Doucouré from Watford instead of Højbjerg. But, you know, there is things that you can rotate there. But overall, this team, I think, is the best team out of the Champions League. And I think that it could have a quarter-final finish even more. But anyways, we're all said and done. Do you think that this is the best team that I could have chosen? If not, leave me your teams in the comment section below. Comment, like and subscribe. And I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.